welcome back everyone for some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And in this episode, we are going to be finishing day 1 of the trial against Lana Skye, as we have to hear from one more witness before we can call it a day. But yeah, last time we finished the testimony of Angel Star and more or less obliterated her entire testimony. Plus we found out about a piece of evidence that was in one of the photos. And it was a piece of a scarf, or muffler as they call it, that was stuck in the tailpipe of Edgeworth's car, so hopefully we'll find out more about that in this video. By the way, hopefully you guys have an awesome start to your weekend, so without further ado, let's continue on. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. And Emma looks like somebody just ripped her heart out of her rear end. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Our trial was always like this with you. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. Oh god. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Officer Marshall! Thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial was going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. No, don't that just beat all. I've seen a red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a skirt. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Oh wee! Oh god. I used to like A1 steak sauce. Whenever I tried it recently, I don't know, I'm not sure if they changed the recipe in it, but I just don't like it as much anymore. But anyway, let's focus on the case at hand, February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9. Hey there, Queen Peen. I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. Yeah, Edgeworth is looking kind of unstable right now. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it's time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! Seems the prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there? Ugh. What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the court. Why does he keep staring? Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Oh, it's you! Why does he keep staring? It's giving me the creeps! Oh, hell. Sorry, I'm late, Edgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Edgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smizzy, Edgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Edgy seems to be a nickname for the church. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha, so you're Wright, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Hey, thanks. So sorry about a little wordy giving you all the trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little wordy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. He has a very bad staring problem. He's looking right in my soul. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Whoa, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's... my sister's muffler! So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was all stuffed in that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. What is with the staring? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. Well, what's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth. How could I miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Well, didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature is there. Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... You're head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you've made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah! Court accept this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Oh, poor thing. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it! I'm not controlling this, by the way. Okay, now I am. And it should be this piece right here. Wah! Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade! The tip is broken off! And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one. Really? This ought to be interesting. Witness testimony, department and disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. That's interesting. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Hudgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Well, wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! Anyway, we at the department here all are flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Let's go ahead and save, just in case I screw up. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Knife is special, but can't say how. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to be something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean, Pumudgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12 over 2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn around and what do you get? Oh boy. Ah, aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that was written on the knife's tag. Cold stare, Judge. Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto! I win? What game is this guy playing? Knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the evidence room. Bad day for the department. They weren't in any shape to do any investigating. Detective killed the police department. Time of the crime was 5:15. Not officially linked to the case, so we can't say much about it. The detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be coincidence. And that knife! What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Edgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Okay, where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's try where the victim was found. So, tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Well, wait a second. I've heard of that. The evidence room! Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed a ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Two detectives killed five. Okay, we already did this. Now, knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Sniper's evidence was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a bad day for people who want to shift through investigation. Detectives go, let's see what a mess. On the same day. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. Perpetrator. Okay, giving me data. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing only. Okay, let's try how the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's a spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. I know this part's gonna seem redundant, but it is necessary. Okay. And this should be the last time I have to do this. Okay. Wants us to help. We need some data. Okay, now we need to know when the victim died. So, when did the murder at the police department occur? Now that's a sharp question, Rado. Very sharp. Well, my boy, you're gonna love this. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases have already been proven. Hey? You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be coincidence. What is with the staring? I just noticed his beard looks like a seashell. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I requested you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet, no. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Let's go with the victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Oh, now that number rings a bell. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? Let's go ahead and save. Judge must have taken his stupid pills today or something. Let's see. The ID number of the victim at the police department, 5842189. This does tell me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You see the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you? Okay, that's... Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Oh my god. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho! Is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right? Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Well, wait a second, Ray. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our victim... what does our witness think about that? Oh, ho ho ho, sharp as attack, righto. Sharp as attack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 515 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location? That's what it kind of sounds like. Order, order, order. Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Well, didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare... We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. That's a very interesting face he's making. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait! Aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anyone on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Well, why didn't you, officer, tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure this officer was capable of making a connection. He did seem chill. In any case, this is serious error, gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then Oh, that face! Why does he keep staring? No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all these rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better give results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. And that's where we're going to end things off here. So that is day 1 of the trial completed. And we're actually getting close to exactly the 30-minute mark, which works out perfectly. So, but yeah, in tomorrow's episode, we will begin day 2 of the investigation, and we're going to find out more about exactly what the heck is going on And why exactly was Bruce Goodman killed at 2 different locations, as we've established here? But hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that starting with tomorrow's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.